Crawl, heavy. Now clinch and throw those knees. Like, head control, Jay. Get your head on the inside of it. Come on in. Come on in. Beautiful. Good. Hey. Up on top. Hip out. Hip height. Yes, yes, yes. Keep working. It's yours. It's yours. Clear it. And it's there. Now you finish that. Finish that. Finish that, Jay. You get this triangle, you should finish this every time. You're the stick triangle. Yes, bite the angle. Just figure four and bite the angle. Tap.
You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach.
So the second thing you have to do is you've got to inventory your cost, all of your cost. And they're, pretty much four major costs. Not the only cost, but there are four major costs that you have to take into account. And one is gym cost. And the reason you want to take into account your gym cost is because some fighters have one primary gym, all right, and others may have as many as three. Those other two gyms would be like a conditioning gym, a fitness gym, not necessarily a Planet Fitness, but just some type of fitness gym, Gold's Gym, or whatever's out there these days, whatever's in your town. A lot of them, they have very specific proprietary names these days. So I don't hear a lot about big networks anymore. But, there's some gym that you train at where you get your strength and conditioning. It could be a home gym as well, because just to buy that equipment. So maybe you have the knowledge to train in your own home gym. You still have to buy that equipment. So it's some type of investment. And if you do have a home gym, I can help you with breaking down the cost of what that equipment, what it costs you, and how much it's really costing you for your fight camps. And here the information I'm giving is relative to fight camps, not how you train year round. Because you're going to have so many more expenses that I won't know about. But for fight camp, you need to get all your gym costs accounted for. So most gyms are between 100 and 150. So you need to most gyms can be between 100 and 200, depending on if you're going to use these other gyms as well, if you're going to have more than just the one. So make sure you go ahead and count for that you have as many as 2 to 3 gyms. So it's roughly $100 to $300 to $200 a month that you are putting out. And the reason you want to get all your total cost is because you don't want to find a sponsor just to cover these costs, because there's always some unseen thing that you're going to need to take care of. Travel cost, like your gas. That's the biggest one. Your lodging. And as far as the fight camp itself, you should be returning home at night. So you don't want to find yourself on the road going too far, especially as an amateur. I would say you shouldn't be any further than an hour out from any one of these gyms that you may use. So you want to make sure you have your travel costs somewhere between $50 and $150 a month. All right. And that's for the 2 months that you're pretty much in fight camp. Now, depending on what you do all day, you can fight camp for just 1 month, because maybe you train year round and maybe your parents take care of you. So some of these costs are going to be on the low end for you, because you actually have other means of support. Your time cost. And so your time cost is when you're in that car and you got to stop and eat, that is costing you time. If something goes wrong with the vehicle, maintenance and repair. That's costing you time. So, these things can be unforeseen sometimes. If you need to get new tires because the tires are wearing out from all the traveling you're doing, it's going to cost you money. So this needs to be talked about and included in terms of what your actual costs are. Because again, when you're looking for sponsors, you're looking for investors, you're looking for people to support you, these things need to be a part of that equation in terms of that total that you're trying to get them to give to you. And your coaching costs. So the coaching cost is different from the gym cost. It's because what I'm talking about here is if you're a good fighter and you're a smart fighter, you should be taking at least one private training session or private lesson with the coach once a week at a minimum. Depends on who you take it with. For instance, if you take it with your primary gym, sometimes they'll cut you a break. And if this is a secondary gym or just a fighter that has a specific skill that you need, it may cost you about $75 an hour. All right. It shouldn't be more than that at your level. And then always make sure you're reaching out to someone with a little bit more experience to help you figure out who do you need to go to, because sometimes these guys just say, yeah, I'm $75 an hour, but you get no real value out of them. So, I'll be able to help you determine whether or not you should go train with one of the coaches at the primary gym or someone at a secondary gym that specializes in a skill that you really need. But those are your 4 primary costs: all of your gym costs, your coaching costs, your travel costs, and your time costs. They're not the only ones, but they're your primaries. And the thing about that, now I'm going to scare you, is that, that could be about $500 a month. Just on the low end, $500 a month to $1,000 a month. Now, if you're a pro fighter, you've already, there are ways to get this money back because you're going to do it through negotiations. And hopefully if you're good enough, you win, you get the bonus, blah, blah, blah. What I would recommend is when you first start training and you're training to fight, that going in, I want to be a fighter. Well, you're not going to fight for a year or a year and a half, sometimes 2 years. Every month, you need to put away money that will aid your fight camp. Every month, put away money that will aid your fight camp, just like putting money into a bank. And it needs to be put away for this very specific reason. If you don't fight for a year and a half, that is the equivalent of 6 fight camps. If you could put away $6,000, then by the time you start your fight career, you're your first sponsor. You understand what I'm saying? You're your very first sponsor when you start your fight camp. And so things are going to go a lot easier because some of the things I didn't talk about, things like medicals, these are usually not, if you fight on a regular basis, it's not something you need every time you go to fight, but every 6 months or so, these costs are going to come back up. If you get injured, hopefully you have some type of health insurance. But just in case you do not, start investing in yourself early. You are your first sponsor. Start putting this money away, a couple $100 every month off to the side, so that by the time you fight, you are your first sponsor. You've got some backup. You've got some support. You've got some funds, that can see you through the hard times, so to speak. And it also develops another skill. You learn how to start saving for yourself. All right. So, and investing in yourself, that's super crucial that you learn these skills, because your fight career is not going to last forever. It is not going to last forever. And there's always going to be someone there to, in a sense, I hate to say it, especially when it comes to management, they want to take things away from you. All right. So this is all about investing in yourself to learn this game. It's not as hard. It is difficult. It's Michael Bisping said something Saturday. He said certain things are easier said than done. And this is one of them. I can sit here and tell you that you need to learn this game for yourself. I can sit here and tell you mechanisms that will help, but it's hard to be disciplined to put money in the bank. It is, because there's always something that comes up. It's hard to sit here and say, okay, you need to learn this game for yourself, because there's always somebody else that's telling you that they know more or they know better. They're smarter than you. They make you feel inadequate. So just take it from Coach Sash. You are your first sponsor. You really are. And when we come back, we're going to talk about step 3. So remember, step 1, you got to be good at what you do. And that's the one that happens every day. Every day you train, you are good at what you do. That is the key. You have to make sure you're good at what you do. And if you feel like you're falling behind, guess what? You're going to do a self-inventory. You're going to look around you and pick out the strong qualities of your teammates and the people on your fight circuit, and you're going to figure out how to get to that level, because you need to be very good at what you do. And then number 2, you need to inventory your costs. Maybe not all of your costs, but definitely these are the costs for fight camp.